Ukrainian intelligence agency, said his aim of his organization is to attack Russians anywhere in the world. So they are not just Ukraine, not just Crimea, the Donbass area, but all the Russian military infrastructure around the borders of Ukraine, in Russia itself, air bases, the air bases where the Russian bombers take off to attack Ukraine. These are all fair
Yeah.
game.
How,
So,
I mean,
this is a major escalation of the war.
yeah, Tim, how seriously do we take that pledge to attack within Russia itself? When Zelensky's been asked about it before, he's always said that he would never deliberately target Russia.
Well, I
Certainly
mean,
not to the same extent that obviously Russia has been, targeting civilian buildings within
well,
Ukraine.
they have, we've seen from the Pentagon leaks that the Ukrainian special forces attacked the airbase in Minsk in Belarus to try and destroy the Russian radar plane. That was reported by the CIA in their documents, and we've seen Ukrainian-made drones, Ukrainian-operated drones attacking into Russia, attacking oil depots, railway lines. We've had sabotage attacks, a wide range of operations. The Ukrainians call it partisan warfare. That they are, using sabotage against key targets in Russia. That this is, then they've dressed it up as euphemisms for attacking lines of communications, but most of the lines of communications are in Russia. So it is the Storm Shadow gives them the way to do that in a far more devastating way to a wider range of targets deeper inside Russia. And as the Russians said, this is probably going to get a response.
Yeah.
And when you think about what does it mean to attack a bunker, a command bunker, this is a command post with like several hundred people inside, and they will all be killed with this weapon. So it's British weapons are going to start killing large numbers of Russians. So that's an escalation of the war. And how they react, we saw last September, the Russians tried to shoot down one of our planes over the Black Sea. So this is I'm sure that the government, Ben Wallace, have considered all these factors, but those are possibilities.
What do you make of that, Tim? The, British weapons destroying, Russian hardware, killing Russian people effectively,
Yeah.
escalating the war in that way. What is your personal opinion on that
Well,
escalation?
I mean, this is at a stage where this, and everybody says we're waiting for the Ukrainian offensive, we're waiting for the war to escalate, and it's make or break for both the Russians and the Ukrainians. And when you say we're waiting for the offensive, that is an escalation of the fighting, and that means more weapons being used, more targets being attacked, more people being killed, and that becomes unpredictable in a way that we've seen, not seen in this war so far. The unpredictability of employing these weapons is multiplied massively by the Ukrainians having a wider target set to attack. How will the Russians react to it? We'll wait and see.
Well, I was going to ask you what your best sort of guess at that was, really. I remember when there were discussions about using the Storm Shadow missiles, Russian state TV presenters called for London to be turned to dust. That was the kind of rhetoric being used. What is most likely? What could we see from Russia in retaliation?
Okay. Well, they will want to try and neutralize where these missiles can be launched for. They have to be launched from an aircraft. So they will intensify their attacks on Ukrainian air bases to try and destroy the remaining Ukrainian aircraft that could operate these missiles. They'll step up their air patrols to try and shoot down the planes that are carrying these missiles. That's the first step. And then, of course, they will try and intercept the communications that come from the West into Ukraine carrying the arms. So you can see how that is escalatory in itself. Then there's the risk of those attacks spilling over into NATO territory as they attack the railway bridges. We've seen the railway bridge near Odessa being attacked. That's right next to Romania, which is NATO territory. So people are very excited about this offensive and what it's going to win, the possibility of Ukrainian achieving battlefield success. But battlefield success will come from the battlefield becoming more bloody, more unpredictable,
Yes, it
more
will.
people get killed.
Yeah,
So the
it will
government
come at a
obviously,
cost. Yeah.
yeah, indeed.
I understand. Tim, thank you so much for speaking to us. Very well laid out there, and I can hear your concerns and the reality of the situation being, spelled out very clearly to us. Tim Ripley, weapons analyst at Janes. Thanks for talking to us. Cheers,
You're
Tim.
welcome.
Well,
Cheers.
coming up in the next half an hour of the show, we will speak to an author and the curator of the European Writers' Festival. It's the first time the event's taken place. We'll find out more about that, and we'll get a peek inside tomorrow's paper. Let's get a news update first, though, from Rob Malarkey.